What's up, everyone? Welcome to another stream. Welcome to those in the chat, which right now is no one. But I'm glad to be here again live. Real fast before we get started, I'm trying to get a poll. I put out a post earlier this week about just times for live streaming. If you're watching on the replay, drop a comment below with your suggested time. Like, I have time Fridays. Fridays don't seem to work for a lot of people. Maybe Thursday afternoon, Sunday afternoon and evening sometime for these live streams. I want this to be a place where we can come hang out, ask questions about gear, editing, video, lighting, like all this stuff. But I want to make sure that you guys are available to join instead of just going live on Friday at 1 and not really having anybody in the live stream itself. So if you're watching replay or if you see this at another time, drop a comment below and let me know which one of those times works best for you. And, maybe I'll switch to there. It depends on obviously my availability, but I want other people there as well. And let me know if you're watching right now. If you hop in, let me know if the music is too loud. Hey, look, Naz is here. Awesome. What's up, man? Good to have you. It's, it's just a Friday afternoon here chilling. We're going to talk about some gear and whatnot, but good to have you here for the moment that you can be here. Appreciate it. If you have any questions, you're the only one here, so drop them in the comments about gear, video, lighting, editing, anything. I was just telling them I'm trying to figure out what time is best for the live streams. I know you do yours on Sunday afternoon and evening. I've also looked at that kind of around that time too. Mine would probably be later than yours in the evening, but I don't know. I'm just trying to fill it out to see, who's available when and be able to jump into live streams. But let's see. Yeah, today I'm doing a little bit different today. I'm trying to create a space where we just kind of hang out and chat and maybe do Q&As and go over gear and other things. Yeah, thanks for letting me know. Music's at okay level. Could be a bit louder if anything. Okay. Yeah, I have it really low. I can hear it in my speakers, but this is it's at 5%. So or 3%. I just bumped it up to 5. So if that's too loud, and the music kind of goes in and out as well. So it takes some getting used to because I can hear it in my speakers, but I don't know how loud it is on the live stream. So like I was saying, I don't really have anything teaching wise to plan. I do have a couple things. I was going to show this microphone here. If it focuses, let's see. So I don't know if you've ever heard of Fifine, but it's like a kind of budget range audio company, and they sent me this to review. I've done a couple other reviews, but I planned on just maybe talking about this for a little bit. I'm going to be doing a review video soon on that. Naz has a question. Is there a process you recommend for learning Resolve? I'm finding it difficult to focus on what's important and find myself getting distracted. Yeah, I think everybody has to kind of see what they're comfortable with. Even on my channel, I have a couple videos where I kind of go over Resolve in totality, but that can be complex, but also too simplistic. So sometimes you're trying to go over it, all the stuff to get through everything and all the windows and talk about it, but then it becomes overwhelming for people who are trying to learn it. I had thought about going through and doing a really simple walkthrough. I think the biggest thing is starting with just the edit page. Don't even look at, I'm going to go ahead and open up Resolve. Don't even look at any of the other pages. Down on the bottom of Resolve, there's I think 5 or 6 different pages. And if you just focus on the edit page, then you don't have to worry about much of anything else. Let me open up here a project just so I can kind of walk you through a simple process to learn. I have a test project here if I can find it. All right. Okay. So I'll throw this up on the screen. Okay, so Actually, I'll put myself up here too, you know, that way you can see my face. You don't want to miss out, right? All right, so here in Resolve, like the main thing I focus on is this edit page. So down here, it's like that little icon that looks like, you know, you're editing. Just focus on this. Like there's so many extra stuff to look at. Obviously this is where all your media goes, and then you have some effects and titles and things. You can easily get distracted, kind of like you mentioned in your question. It's hard to go through all this stuff and not get a little distracted. But I think if you find on YouTube some videos, I might have some that talk about some shortcuts that'll speed up some workflows, but how to set up your project and organize your files, but then really just focus on this page. Don't even worry about the color page at first, just because you just do one little tab at a time, basically. So I'd focus on the edit page. Just drag your content or your files into here, organize them, and then edit in here. And then obviously the deliver pages or a tab or whatever is where you'd output to YouTube. And you can use some of these presets. They have presets up here. If you click it, it'll just kind of set up, you know, the preset export. But yeah, it's hard because it's a big there's a big software. So sometimes it can be pretty hard to narrow down what you need to learn. I will say, like, I came from using Premiere, so I use Premiere a lot, you know, over the last 15, 20 years. Well, not really 15 years. And then about 5 years ago, maybe 6 years ago, I switched, mainly because I was tired of paying monthly for the subscription. But when I switched, it probably took 3 months before I got used to it. And it's not, and that's coming from a professional software too. So it just takes a while. But if you use it every project and you start getting into the flow, then you'll start finding yourself, you know, not getting distracted by a lot of the other stuff. That was a lot rambling. I don't know if that really answered your question, Naz, but that can be a little bit more difficult. So there's a lot more bells and whistles, so it's hard to stay focused on it. Anyway, so yeah, if you have any more questions, there's a couple other people that jumped in, but if you have questions, leave those in the comments. I will get to them. Anyway, I was going to take out this microphone here. I'm doing a review of this mic versus the current mic I'm using. Naz, you have another question? You get the priority because you're here. So, what's the support like for the studio version? Support as in, what do you mean? Like customer service support or hardware support? What exactly do you mean by that? I'm going to do that while I'm taking out this microphone. If you're thinking customer support, I wouldn't know. I don't ever talk to them. So I know there is like some training material that they have, but I mean, it's nothing different from the free version that you can get. Computer-wise or hardware-wise for the support, like it opens up more capabilities for your computer, so you're able to do a little bit more. Yeah, so customer service, troubleshooting, etc. I'm not sure. I haven't ever really looked at that or utilized that. I know they do have like tech support, customer support, or troubleshooting. I just have never had to use it. I don't know how much of that would be educational more than just like hardware related or like trying to figure out if there's a bug or that kind of thing. I know they can help with that, but yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the answer is for that one. Yeah, so like I said, this is the mic that I'm going to review here soon. It's a studio mic, just like the SM7B, but Fifine's like pitch is that this would be much cheaper. That's a budget option for this. So this mic right here is like a well-known studio mic. It's about $500 for the mic. And then you also usually buy like a cloud lifter, which just boosts the signal a little bit louder, which is like another $130 or whatever. So this is more budget. This is coming in at around $100. And I'm going to test it out. We're going to see what quality it has and if it is even comparable to this. I'll also probably do maybe a quick test out with the Rode Pod mic, I think it's what it's called. That's like $100 mic as well, and I've used that before when recording podcasts. So I'll probably do that with this in a video. So anyway, look forward to that. That'll be coming soon in the next couple of weeks. So that's like the second microphone I've gotten from them to review. Excuse me. I actually had a mic that I reviewed for them on my first channel like 2 years ago. I won't go into the whole story, but that channel got deleted, and like I only had like 300 subscribers or whatever, but I had like 60,000 views, so it was kind of weird. But that was gone last May, so like a year and a half ago. Anyway, so I'll be doing that, and then another video I am working on, or might be. I have to test it out first before I decide to work on it. I was approached by this company right here, AI Arty, and they have like software that they use AI to like enhance your video. So this would be like, you know, the clarity, the sharpness, denoiser, you know, upscaler, that kind of stuff. So they wanted me to try do a review video of this software. So I'm working on that as well. It'll be probably the next couple weeks. I haven't used it yet. I've downloaded it, but I just haven't gone through it. It'll be interesting because a lot of the new features in like Resolve with AI, you can upscale, you can do denoising, you can do that kind of stuff all in the studio version. And it does a pretty good job. So I'm going to kind of compare it to that when I do the review. It's one of those things where it's like, I don't want to review a whole software that I don't think is valuable. So I guess I'm going to test it out a little bit first before I decide if I'm going to actually do the review or not. From what it looks like on the website, it looks like it does basically the same stuff as Resolve, but maybe it's better. I don't know. I'll have to test it out. It is a standalone software. Like, you can't edit in it though. So it's like basically you take the raw videos, the clips, you put them in there. You can enhance them, you know, sharpen them, or do whatever the processing you want to do on it, and then you export them out, and then you bring it into your editor and edit. So I'm not a fan of that process. So I don't know. It might be something I review. We'll see. Yeah, and then I think there's a couple other video ideas that I'm looking to kind of jump into here in the next couple weeks. One of them is like either like a 10 mobile video tips. So just for like your phone, like some tips for like creating videos with your phone and getting the best out of it. Trying to look to do that maybe. Also have one where I'm going to talk about like just the way you speak. What is denoising? Okay, so denoising is, there's both audio and video. So like here, I'll throw this back up on the screen here. So right here, the denoiser, this is talking about audio. So that's basically taking any static or room noise or things that are not your voice and trying to get rid of it out of the video or out of the audio. That's what an audio denoiser. There's also video denoising, which is like grain and things that you get in your video. It'll try to remove that as well. So that's what this video denoiser is. So it's just getting rid of the noise from your ISO, or you know, noise from your audio. So that's how that works. Hey, Fitness Over 50. What's up, Sandra? Glad you can make it. If you have questions about videos, editing, lighting, gear, like all that stuff, drop them in the comments. We're just chilling, talking, and trying to just go through some gear stuff and whatnot. I just talked about a couple things I'm doing, reviewing this microphone and kind of comparing it to this microphone, which is a professional standard, expensive mic, and this is more budget mic. Yeah, just talking through some of that stuff here. You'd love the video about filming with a phone. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's good to hear. That's I would like to do a little bit more with like mobile photography, because I think that's a skill that people start with their phones and then maybe they just don't know what to do to make it look a lot better. I've done a few times where I've done some videos that I use the phone on and try to make it like as professional quality as possible. So that would kind of be what that is, 10 mobile video tips. So just things that like to keep in mind setting wise, but also like how you set up the camera, where you shoot, that kind of stuff. Plan on doing some of those, I think. The other video I was talking about that's on my list to do is like how to talk to your audience basically through the camera. So like speaking to someone and feeling natural, like you're talking through the camera to someone else and not just like at the camera. So that's another video that I'm planning to do here in the next few weeks. Yeah. Let's see here. Trying to like go through my list of videos. I have a number of the videos. I'm gonna do some other gear reviews. Some gear that I have. Like I have a bunch of lenses and stuff. You know, like I kind of want to get into the place where I can do lens reviews, camera reviews, things like that. I enjoy those, so that's probably I'm gonna start doing that on the channel. And so I have like all these. They're older, you know, they're not brand new stuff. So we'll see if anybody wants to watch those older stuff. But I'm gonna do it because I'm gonna try to get a catalog of videos where I can get other brands to kind of like send me stuff, if that makes sense, that I can review. Yeah, you do all your filming with your iPhone, and then yeah, that's exactly right. I want to know how to improve my quality. Okay, cool. Well, I'm planning on doing that. I think this month. I'm trying to think. I have. Let's see. When is that gonna be? That might be end of the month or early October, according to my schedule. I do have. So I have that one, which is the video tips, but I do have a video that's coming out probably in a couple weeks that is basically like iPhone settings. So I don't know if you have an iPhone or not, but like it'll be just a settings video of like for the best quality you can get out of your iPhone. So that's coming out in a couple weeks, but then I'll have another one where it's just like more broad video tips for mobile filmmaking. So that'll be probably in October when that second one comes out. All right. Yeah, I was saying something. I can't remember what I was saying now. Yeah. Oh yeah, I was talking about gear. That's right. Yeah. So like I was saying, I'm going to try to do more gear reviews that, you know, review the camera I'm using, which is 5 years old, and some of the other stuff, just to get, you know, enough on my channel that I can actually reach out to, you know, B&H or, you know, Canon or, you know, whoever, and try to get some gear to be able to review for the new stuff that comes out. I enjoy that stuff. I know that like I always say like gear doesn't matter. I mean, it does, but it doesn't, you know, like ultimately it's like what you're saying that matters, and how you're building an audience. So you know, but I enjoy gear. So I'm kind of on this new kick where the videos I want to do, I want to make them where I'm curious about it. So and because I like gear, I'm probably going to start talking about gear a little bit more. Yeah, you use the iPhone 14 Pro. Okay. I have the 16 Pro, so the settings video will be more about that. When you stepped up from, or when iPhone went from 14 to 15, there was actually a pretty big jump, and even to the 16 is even bigger. I'm interested to see what they do with the 17. Apple's gonna talk about that on Tuesday. They're gonna kind of launch their iPhone 17 series, so it'll be interesting to see what they say about that. But there's a big jump from the 14 to the 15, I believe. That's when they introduced the Apple Log and some of these other more technical things that they can do with video. I could be wrong. Let me look that up and double check that. Yeah, 15 Pro. So log, if you don't know what log is, it's a picture profile. So it's a flat picture profile that basically gives the full dynamic range of the sensor. So it looks really washed out and gray and like no saturation or contrast. It looks nasty. But what it does is it gives you more information coming from your sensor. And on an iPhone, the sensor is so small, the more information you get, it does exponentially better. So being able to shoot log in an iPhone, which again, this adds more steps to editing, so it might not be something you want to do, but it gives you more latitude to be able to push the exposure, contrast, and color, which then gives you just a higher quality image at the end. So the iPhone 15 Pro and up has that. So your phone doesn't have that, which is fine. You don't have to have that. Some of the settings that I'll share will apply as well, to give you some better quality. But the newer iPhones definitely have a leg up because they have some of those capabilities. So that's pretty fun. It'll be interesting to see what they do with the iPhone on Tuesday, because I know they've talked about a lot of different things. So we'll see. Another thing I'm interested in, I mean, this is expensive, and I'm not getting it, but is the new Canon announcement. So Canon is announcing something on Tuesday as well. There's a lot of camera products being announced this week as well. Some from Nikon, I think, too, and but they're announcing. Okay, I was gonna pull up the Canon rumors page, but it looks like that's gone. I wonder why. I just made a video on it. You can go see that video, and I was able to pull that up. But the new camera, rumored to be more of a video-centric camera, which is nice from Canon. Sony's done that for 3 years now, so it'll be good for Canon to get into that market. I'm interested to see those specs because they look a little bit too good to be true. But I'll be watching that. Probably make a video on that on next week as well, just to look at what it actually does. Anyway, so excited for that. There's a lot of gear coming out that'll be pretty fun to look at. Anyway, sorry, excuse me. If you have any other questions, drop them in the comments. Thanks to you guys for hanging out. Naz, for asking questions. I'm glad you got to jump in for a little bit. I know it's a weird time. Look forward to your live on Sunday as well. And Sandra, thank you for jumping in here as well. I want to give a shout out. So this week was the first week of my community being live on school, and that was pretty awesome. I've enjoyed that. We've had, I started, I kind of did a pre-launch thing, and it was a long on-ramp. It was like over a month before it went live. I didn't have time to do it, so I needed to push it back a little bit. But got in there. I have like 12, I think, people in there right now. Naz, you're one of them, and you've jumped in a few times, which is awesome. I have a couple other people have jumped in. It's been good. It's good to get in a rhythm of having that community. But I want to do a shout out because that's part of these lives, is that I'm going to, bring in the community aspect of it and give some shout outs, show some other people's work and channels and that kind of stuff, as well as like anybody in the community gets priority on these live streams for answers to their questions and things like that. But I wanted to shout out Des Dreckett, I think is how you say his name. I posted this also in another community, the Midlife Creator community, and I just thought this was a really good video. It was talking about vidIQ. There's a couple features that are new to vidIQ that help you see your YouTube thumbnails amongst all the other thumbnails, whether it's trending or your competitors. And it's just a great feature that I didn't even know was there. So I'm shouting him out. Go watch the video. If you want to jump into the community, the link is in the description. You can do that, and you can find that post as well. And he's in here, so he's in my community. So that's how I found that video. But he did such a good job on it, and it's really helpful. So just giving a little bit of community shout outs here to people, because you guys are awesome, and that's what helps build things, is when you have community where you can do things together. Let's see. Another one of the questions I didn't get to, I'm going to throw this up here, from Des. So I kind of do a post in the community to let people drop in and ask questions early. Des asked, do you recommend using voice enhancer? I used the free Adobe one when I first got started, but I haven't used it in a while. Yeah, so voice enhancers, I don't know. It depends on what they do. If you have to do it with like just a fine amount. Like you don't want to just apply it across the board because it can get really crazy with the way it sounds. So like I have used the Adobe one before. I Resolve, that's a part of the studio version. There's some AI voice enhancing features, and I use it on every video that I make. Obviously not on the live streams, but every video that I make, I use a little bit of voice enhancement. And what I do is I only use the section that basically enhances or reduces the background noise. So that way, like some of the echo in this room goes away, and it just keeps only my voice up front. They also have things like auto music ducking. So basically the music will duck below your voice or the dialogue so that you don't have to like manually set those keyframes. So I don't use that as much. I want more control over it, but the voice enhancement I do use for removing background noises. And then I do all my own EQ and compression and stuff to my voice as well. And maybe, you know, in one of these live streams, I'll walk through that process of how I edit my audio. Drop a comment in the comment section or below if you're watching on the replay, if that would be something you'd like to watch. So I could do that in another video or another live stream sometime. So to answer your question, yeah, I mean, if you're gonna only put a little bit on, use a voice enhancer. If you're gonna try to like throw that on at 100%, then probably not, because it just adds some weird artifacts. So anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it for the questions there. There's only one, but that's okay. So if you want feedback on your projects, you want to do things live, you want to have a community around you as a creator, join the Creator Lab community down below in the link in the description. Sandra has a question. What software are you using for your live stream? Okay, so I'm using Ecamm Live, and I feel like that's used a lot by people who have Macs or, you know, Apple computers. You can use OBS. That's a free version, and it's open software. There's a couple things that I wanted to do. I want it just to be a little bit more streamlined and control over the design aspect. So like being able to put this on the screen right here. Where is it? Right here. That putting comments up on the screen. It's hard to do in OBS. If not, I'm sure it's not impossible, but it's difficult to get set up the right way. And then I also want to bring people on as guests soon. You know, maybe not like a whole time, but like I will want to have every once in a while have a live stream where I have guests on. So OBS can do that, but it's a little bit more of a pain. There's other online. I know Naz uses what is it? StreamYard, I think. One of those, but I've used those before. They're a online based software, so using in a browser, and those work good too. But I like Ecamm. I like the way it works, like on your desktop. So that's what I use, and it's gone good for me so far. It's really easy to use. I've actually used it for recording too. You can record things. So like sometimes like a video I just did on Wednesday about the Canon camera that has some rumors to it. I just opened up Ecamm Live, turned my camera on, and then recorded it through Ecamm Live and was able to share my screen and talk about it live. And then I didn't really edit it. I just kind of trimmed off the beginning and end of the video and then uploaded it. So it made it really easy and streamlined. So that's kind of another reason why I went with Ecamm. It's just really easy for recording videos too if you're sharing your screen. So anywho, yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't have anything planned today. I'm trying to find a good time to do the live streams where most people can show up. So again, if you're watching the replay or if you have times that you're thinking about that would work better, preferably like Thursday afternoon, Sunday afternoon, or Friday. Friday's my day off from my full-time job, so it's a lot easier for me to record or to do live. I started at 10 and I did one at 10 a.m. here Eastern Standard Time, and I had a few people there. Then I went to Friday at 1 p.m. and for the last couple of days I haven't had any. So yeah, I mean, just when I'm just trying to figure out what times are best for people. You're welcome, Sandra. You are welcome. So anyway, yeah, that's gonna be it. I think if no one else has any questions, again, if you're watching a replay, I want to answer the questions you have, so drop them in the comment, and I'll definitely answer those below the live stream here on the replay. And then also, if you want like weekly help or feedback or just ideas or just a place to grow and get better as a creator and making videos, jump into the Creator Lab, and that's linked below. Other than that, guys, thanks for coming, thanks for showing up, and I will see you guys next week. See you later. Have a good weekend.